Hello, Jacob. We're back at Shook Book, the vlog in which two actors read and discuss books that in one way or another leave them shook. I would first of all like to point out that your beard hair is on point. I would next like to do a little reading for you. Everyone says you become a woman when you start your period or lose your virginity. In Judaism, you're deemed a woman when you have your bat mitzvah. I, of course, saw this ceremony as an opportunity not only to chant my Torah portion, but also to make my big stage debut in the temple. I'd been doing musicals since I was 5, and I was ready to steal the show. I'm gonna show these Jews what I'm made of, I thought in an unracist way. All eyes were on me, just the way I liked it, as I looked out into the crowd from the bima. My mom was crying tears of joy next to my dad, who was absolutely bursting with pride. I wouldn't have been surprised if they gave me a standing O before I finished. I was nailing it. That was from Amy Schumer's The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo, which is basically Amy Schumer's memoirs. I thought that was a fitting response to your last video because I'm always really interested in the people who grew up religiously, were truly raised to believe in the religion, but somehow were never that taken with it or interested. I just wonder how that happens, I guess. I don't know. As you know, my religious upbringing was pretty confusing, but religion had pretty much stopped being a part of my life by the time I was about 10 years old. I mean, that's one thing for me as an atheist, is that sometimes I feel like I really, really want that community, and I really, really want that belief that sort of makes everything okay and makes the world completely and totally understandable and a totally known entity. So I wonder about people like Amy Schumer, who clearly were in touch enough with the religion to, say, have a bat mitzvah, but who weren't in touch with it enough to think of it as anything more than a musical theater performance. Don't get me wrong here, I totally understand the impulse to treat life as a series of musical theater opportunities. For example, I saw Jessie J live in concert in New York City last November, and in the weeks leading up to the performance, I was imagining that Jessie J would get up on stage and she would say, "All right, I need somebody to do the rap from Bang Bang." And I would raise my hand and she'd be like, you look like a stunning rapper and a beautiful personality and a wonderful performer. I want you on stage with me. And then I would get up stage and I'd be all like, it's Mix Moscato, it's Race in the Puddle, it's Julie Throttle, it's And she would be like, "Oh my God, Julie, you need to go on tour with me as the new Nicki Minaj. In fact, we are re-recording Bang Bang. We are going to have Julie doing the rap." So yes, I totally understand having this crazy imagination that constantly involves dreaming of people giving you standing ovations and seeing you as the star that you really are. I am an actor, after all. I lately have been commuting an hour to get to my rehearsals, so I've been doing a lot more listening to books than I have been reading to books. This book was, I think, the first book I've ever gotten through all the way on audiobook, and I loved every second of it. Amy Schumer is just so honest and so funny and so totally unafraid of being vulnerable. It also made me think about what I said in my very first video when I talked about Marilyn Manson's autobiography and how he talked a lot about sex and how men in their books seem to talk a lot about sex and the women don't, is what I said. Well, Amy Schumer proved me very, very, very wrong. But I was also really interested in that review of this book in The Guardian because it made the claim that Amy Schumer doesn't say anything new in this book, which I guess is true. I mean, she talks an awful lot about things that women have been talking about for a long time, especially things to do with body image, because of course that's an issue that has really affected her in her life. At the same time, I understand that I'm a broken record about some things that I really care about. It's because they've affected my life really strongly. And there are other people whose lives have been affected just as strongly by that thing. And so that story, I like to think, still has value to those people. So it just got me wondering, do we have to say something new for our stories to have value? I mean, I guess I'm not really wondering. I think I have just answered it. But then it made me realize that it all comes back to the question that you asked in your very first video. All roads lead to Walph Waldo Wemerson. So have we accomplished anything by telling that same story over and over again? Or by telling the same story, do we simply get stuck in the same way of thinking about things? I mean, I guess we need both. As usual, I'm just saying that we need both things. Super cool. I hope you like this video. Talk to you later.